Hello everybody, welcome back to the wacky, zany Hearts of Iron 4 show. And I took myself a little break from Hearts of Iron 4 after our 7 days of madness and come back with a refreshing taste for the game. If you didn't know, currently we are trying to get every single achievement in the game Hearts of Iron 4. A fun game. But today, unironically, we're going to be doing some I've actually been looking forward to and didn't want to ruin by playing with historical AI focuses off, funnily enough, and that is Canada. Now, as you know from the video I made a few months back, Canada did get buffed tremendously and is incredibly powerful now, and there are also a few achievements to get done. It's 1812 all over again as Canada take and hold Washington DC and rule Britannia as any British subject state, conquer all of Britain, which that one might be more difficult than the last one, funnily enough. We also have a pretty much minute one, which is do the send in the zombies focus, which we can now do without anything bad happening. As before, as I've already said in a different video, you used to have to pick between National Steel Car and send in zombies. You no longer have to do that. You can do both of them. You're spoiled for choice. And now, I did go ahead and watch a guide. I say guide, I watched about 4 minutes of a guide. Mostly because I was interested in how people actually go about doing the 1812 achievement, as it's a lot harder than it used to be. And I got myself a pretty interesting video by Hovlax, link on screen right now, and I guess I'll put it in the description because I'm stealing the idea. Well, I say stealing, I got 4 minutes into that video, and I think I got the gist of it, but everything else I'm going to freeball. So I didn't get to the part where they actually, like, declare war, I think, but from their video, what they essentially laid down is because I need to obviously join the Axis as well. I completely forgot that that's the thing I have to do. Here you go, Canada first, another achievement we're going for. Well, then we have to go down patriation and down to, support the blue shirts, which means that we can technically get ourselves in a civil war, and if we are in a war, we can do a whole bunch of our focuses that are locked behind being in a war, which I thought was dastardly clever, and thus it's now my idea. But yeah, no, I'm kidding. I don't actually usually watch any guides for this. I just kind of go in blind because I think that's way more fun, and I think you guys should do that too. Don't just follow what I do or other people do. Just go in blind and let the chaos overtake you. But because this is an achievement I've already done, I was just interested to see what people are doing nowadays, and I felt this would be interesting, not just for you to watch, but for me to play. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be following that video too much to a T. I just want to do the Civil War part of it. So again, you can go give their video some support and love down below as well, and hit the subscribe button and say cease and desist copying iSorrowproductions. But yes, welcome to Canada, a fun country full of hockey, ice, and half of it's not even in the game. I mean, just look at it. I can't go up any further, and then parts of it that should be up there are over here, jumping out, peeking like a Fridays at Freddy jump scare. Sorry, I've never played Freddy Fazbender game. I have no idea. So yeah, it's very rare you really ever want to go to a civil war to flip your ideology in this game, but this time around, it's gonna pay off. I promise. So yeah, once you click the magical button that about 1% of you have probably clicked before, and if you have, it was maybe on accident, the only one we're really caring about is expand military support, which gives us more troops. And then obviously to start the civil war, we need to expand civil support so that we can lower down our stability. Okay, so we're not going to sit around and keep doing this forever. We have enough to start the civil war, so I am going to do just that, and we're going to see what we get. That is not bad at all. And we got 9 of, I think it was the 13 troops we had there, so we're just going to take one of them to go up here and get all that land, and the rest are going west. And now, as you can see, because we are at war, we can do war bonds, and also with a bit of trickery, we can also get the defense of Canada regulations. We just need to get the world tension up a little bit more. And now, obviously, because we have way more troops than the other Canada, we just want to go ahead and encircle them and take them out, and not capitulate the Canadians outright. And I know what you're thinking, why doesn't the UK just join and win the war for them? Well, they can't unless there's 50% world tension. But with a quick rub of Stanley Baldwin's head, I grant myself a wish of more world tension, which I'm going to get. Now, if you didn't know, world tension used to just be given instantly on justification, but now you have to wait a bit. So this should start ticking up as justification comes in, but we are going to cancel it before we get it, because I don't want to get risk going up to that 50% mark, because then we're going to be screwed. At 24%, that should be fine. Now we can go ahead and do Defense of Canada regulations, and we want to go down to commit to the war. Oh, and that is actually very useful, Italy. I'm going to need that support equipment because we need to get ourselves a collab on the US of A. So there you go. Once we get committed to the war, we are ready to walk into Vancouver. Speaking of animatronic horrors, always forget you're the leader of Canada. Now, I know we committed to the endless war in Canada, but I think it's time to end it. Now, perfect. It's time to take the war back down south and give Washington another visit. I say another visit. There actually weren't, Canadian troops that burned it to the ground in the first place, but they like to take credit for it. Okay, so the focus trees for these old nations still aren't very good in terms of their ahistorical path, so I get the option of joining Germany, which I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be able to do anyway later, so I don't understand the point of having a whole focus dedicated to it. All we can do is support us when it gets bad. So I'm going to do that, just so we may end up with a friendly neighbor down south. Just look at Adrian Arkand. Wouldn't you want to be his friend with his tiny little mustache and those horrifying eyes? Okay, so I would prefer getting motorized units, but I think that's going to be a bit too much of an ask, because I also have to get this collab going on the US, and that is going to take up all of my civilians. So I can't really trade for the rubber to make it worthwhile, so we're just going to go with the mounted police. Oh, I didn't check that. To actually get down to having a war goal on the Americans over here, we do need to flip Mexico, but instead of that, I'm just going to start justifying on the Philippines so we don't raise too much tension, and that'll be 260 days, which should be fine. I just realized we don't actually have any field marshals. And there you go, one achievement down. Send in the zombies, and the zombies have definitely been sent in. Looking at your face, my friend. It's time! Okay, so I'm hoping I haven't left it too late, but by looks of things, not a lot of American troops, I don't think I have. In terms of our collab, though, we should get another 30% off here. It's going to take 123 days, though, so we may actually be done with the war by then, which is annoying. I'd prefer a much higher collab going, so we could actually get a lot of the factories off the USA. Okay, so that actually makes my life a bit easy. The US has actually joined the Allies, which I do need to kill the UK anyway, so as soon as I beat the US out here and get all their factories, I think we're just gonna go straight over and obviously help the Germans, whose faction I can join. And there you go, it's 1812 all over again. That is another achievement done with. Go, so with the final collab, we got another 30%, so we have a 60% on, 75 actually, not bad at all. So we must have got a 45, which is really good and handy. And now we just need to go ahead and capitulate the UK. So what I'm going to do is obviously join the Germans, get myself another achievement. Yeah, you can't not like that. Let's go join the war, and as bad as this might look, I think this is the best time that we just ignore America as a whole now and just go paradrop the UK. Crazy UK, it seems you left all of your troops in America. What a shame. That'd be a little bit suspicious why the entire Canadian army just disappeared off the front lines. Now, as long as they don't re-establish the US here, we should be done with the war. Easy does it. Now, for the achievement, all we need to do is take all of the UK, which sadly we are going to have to prioritize over America, so that should be that. There you go though, Rule Britannia is complete, and that was the only other achievement that we want. Oh my god, I just realized what happened over here. I just realized the US and that are all still alive. So I really wanted to get their fleets, but the problem is Germans just were fighting me for everything. If you cannot tell. So I did not get much of the navies at all. I say that I have a whole bunch of the navies, but there is more to take. See, now I could go back around and you know, take a victory lap on the old navy, but I'm not sure yet, because I'm not done yet. There is nothing left for us to take, really, for achievement-wise, but I'm not too sure I like this big powerful Germany, because we could also do assuming direct control, which is going to be a bit difficult, but if we weaken the Germans and then somehow leave them alive, then join their faction, we could take over, but right now... But yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the Germans to go to all the Soviets, and then we're going to backstab them, and then take over. I think we should also release India, because I don't want to deal with this front line. Okay, never mind, they are going straight in. Well, I'm not ready yet, but we're going to start preparing for the great takeover of Europe. Yeah, so obviously because we had to go war quite early, we are very behind on a lot of stuff, so I'm trying to catch up tech-wise, and also start producing just a whole bunch of everything to get going on the Germans as soon as we can, because they are making a bit too much headway over there. I have left the Axis, I have got my war goal, and we need to get a bit of a move on, shall we say. One thing I'm really worried about is, well, Japan, apparently. Hold on, we can't even do that. Let's go around that. One thing I'm really worried about is German submarines. I don't have much of a way to counteract them. I'm gonna make some tactical bombers to turn into naval bombers so that I can try and keep them at bay, but it's gonna be pretty bad. Hey, no fear, Soviet Union, just gotta hold out a little bit longer. It has immediately made the complicated borders in Australia even more complicated. We're just going for a quick test invasion. I don't think this will go too well, but I just want to make sure the Soviets don't die. Oh, the test invasion is going okay. Manpower situation, not going okay. But I did manage to join the Comintern for some reason, and I clicked the button, and that should give me the achievement, I think. There you go. I mean, I was planning on doing it in a really convoluted way with the Germans, but apparently the Soviets actually want me in. I think this may have to turn into a nuke game. Holding is like no problem, really, right now, but pushing is practically impossible. The good news is we are still alive. Bad news is the Soviets are dead, but the Turkish joined our faction and they're trying their darnest to bring them back to life. Vichy France finally joined the war as well, and I've just pulled back a bit to hold over here, and yeah, we have beat the German air though, and I think we are now making positives in the old plane department, which is good because we are going to need it to push. You know, just in case we are going to start researching some bombs. Thankfully, we already have the strats from earlier. I thought I was doing tags. I don't know why I said tags, but we have a strat bomber from early when we did our naval patrol planes. But yeah, I think this is going to turn into nuclear warfare. Do get 2 bonuses for nuclear technology, so it shouldn't be too bad. We just gotta hold out now and pray for the best. That is a lot of German troops, although their manpower's not looking too great, I say, as they have pretty much the exact same manpower and mobilization that I do. Oh, well, Japan just declared war on Germany. That might give us a bit of help. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of units having to go east now to go fight the Japanese, which is great, although I have appreciated them just endlessly grinding on me. Yeah, I did. They have been endlessly grinding on me, but I never knew. My God, the casualties. Oh, apparently 21 million people is just not enough, and they're still giving it a shot. I'm just gonna convert what we have left of our naval patrol things. There's not a lot of them, but then we are gonna build our nuclear reactors and do a bit of clearing at the front line here. All right, the nukes are ready, but I have noticed German Air Force is back, kind of, and somehow, even though I'm absolutely shredding them, they have enough air supremacy that I can't drop a nuke on them, which is great. But because I have so much recon, and I'm assuming from the radars too, I can see that their line behind them is pretty much completely empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save up enough nukes to take out the entire front line and then push. You know, just tapped out, wait for my nukes to pile up, came back to the sound of the naval invasion alert. Apparently the Germans actually managed to invade. That'll go nicely on top of the 26 million other casualties I see here. I'll drop the bombs, but the Italians have had a quick little naval invasion of the UK, had to deal with that, but now we're ready. I'm actually going to start the offensive first, so everyone's locked in combat, and then I'm deploying the bad boy. You know, MacArthur be like, let me cook. And yeah, that is how you make a breakthrough. I have to move my navy over here. We've got a whole bunch of naval invasions going, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. As long as I capitulate the Germans, they should all disappear. There you go. So that is how you very quickly make like 600 German divisions disappear. Oh, they're still over here. Oh, that really did just collapse everything everywhere, didn't it? And we're seeing some characters we haven't seen for a long time, like Yugoslavia and the Soviet Union. I guess the news did not spread to America, though. They are still happily having a little push over here. Thought the war might be over after that, but no, gotta take down Vichy France and Italo-Ethiopian Ethiopia. Great. Yeah, I think, going on record right now, this probably is one of the most casualty-filled games that I've ever done of Hoi 4. Maybe not so much on my side, only 2.5 million, but that is still a lot for Canada, but you do kind of have to account for the fact that I own America, and where are you going? But yeah, this is definitely the most casualties I've seen in a while. Their whole faction combined has 50 million casualties, which is just insane. But there you go. We have destroyed the world. Just gotta love the fact that there were 3 centralist Australias in that war. There you go. That was a absolutely brutal one. And there we go. We'll finish it off by kicking you out our faction. Stalin, you are no longer needed, but you're welcome for your survival. Hey, he wants to come back? Look how many negatives there are. You have 1,543 strategic reasons to be allied to me. Oh, yeah, well, there you go. That changed very quickly. They no longer want to be our friend, and you could probably do with a friend right now, Stalin. But yeah, that was our absolutely disgusting game as Canada, and we got a whole bunch of achievements doing it, which was very good. Now we've just got 10 billion more to do. But if you enjoyed the video, you want to leave a like, hit the subscribe button down below, feel free to do, and you can carry on your journey of watching me do even more painful stuff, like continuing to play Hoi 4 till 1950.